Can I ask? Can I ask a quick military question? I'm working on a file
Uh-huh.
right now when it comes to authenticating
Hmm.
identity. And, it's not keyboard warriors, but, in my line of business, and I'm trying to like track down somebody in the military,
Hmm.
it shouldn't be hard. I'm thinking like when you have, a title,
Hmm.
like say major,
Hmm.
do they take pictures of
Sure.
you there and keep track of you, or is it just a free for
No.
all and you just come in and get a badge and you just go? Like, how does this work? Because I'm seeing a trend happening
Yeah.
in Canada where like, I have called the minister's office. I've called, all kinds of like HQ
Hmm.
looking for a major and an assistant. And so far, James, no record.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, nothing. What is with that?
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
tips?
Well, look, so when I went in and I became when I was in the look, I had an ID card that had my picture on it. I had what they called a DA photo in my file, so you could pull up a file on James McCormick, and and look, I can't hide from it, um, and I don't. That's why I don't put out any fake names and stuff, because people are smart. Most people are smart, but this I know what person you're talking about. This one guy, on this tampon in the bathroom incident, with the Canadian Armed Forces. He's supposed to be the PR guy, or the public affairs guy that's handling all these questions. Well, I think somebody just threw you out a name, and they made the name up, and I don't think that person really exists. The more I take a look at it, now I got a friend that retired from the Canadian Army, um, and he's a great guy. He's a conservative guy, as well, but um, he don't know him either. So it's like, yeah,
Well,
they're
if
fakes.
anything,
There's a lot of
James,
fakes out there.
if anything, this might reach a few people. How can we do? Let's do just it's called a bolo or an APB, right?
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah.
sees this guy. If I going off of memory here, Val, I think because it's becoming a bit of an issue to me. It doesn't. It's not a. This is normally a story, 'cause we did a whole
Mhm.
episode on the tampons, the tampon in biological male restrooms.
Yeah.
That's not an out of shall we say range story these days. However,
Hmm.
a press release sent out on behalf of the federal government, and the name is Major Soomin, Coomin, I believe, Kim, Kim, if I'm going off of memory. And I'm just saying,
Oh,
hey, I'd like to say hi. And
Soomin Kim, huh? Well,
can you imagine in the private sector, James, if you
yeah.
use little code names and fake names going out for like multi-million-dollar funding? Can you imagine that? So I'm
Well,
just saying,
yeah.
if this was indeed, which I think, I agree with you. I think it's let's call it a pen name like an author. But this is a taxpayer citizen press release here. Come on, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's becoming a smidge of an issue. So anyone out there who does happen to hear this show, uh, honestly, would love to talk to him. Or
What is he? Is he a representative of the Chinese People's Army, or what? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it.
He is the or he's the spokesperson for the national defense in
Oh,
Canada.
wow.
He represents the Canadian military.
Mm.
He's the spokesperson. That's how he's identified in the story. And it's, when the public has no idea what this guy looks like, what he sounds like, just his statements
Hmm.
representing all military. It's confusing for civilians. I know it's confusing for military because I called after hours. I called after hours, and a gentleman who only spoke Chinese answered the telephone, and he would not dispatch accordingly. I've called ministers' offices. Nobody has heard of the guy. knows where to find the guy or his assistant. There's no assistant on record. Nobody is able to find him. So, out of concern, is he okay? How do you do a welfare
Yeah.
check? How do you do a like,
Hey,
is that just, do I just call the
uh,
non-emergency line,
hey,
or
James,
anybody who can
in
help
the
me out?
old days, the
I'd
good
love
old
to.
days of Baghdad Bob. Remember Baghdad Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no soldiers. There's no American soldiers down at the airport. And reporters are saying, well, we were just down at the airport. There's American soldiers there. But
Yeah.
at least Baghdad Bob got in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Wow. He did. Yeah, he did. He got in
So,
front of the camera. Yeah, you're right.
but this kind
Um,
of, the more I hear about it, Val's kind of, Val's digging, and we're digging into about 3 stories right now, James, that are just, and this
mm,
is just one of them, just saying, okay, just want an answer here. Like the old, anything over the years that you hear, just fess up, do it up front, say what's going
yeah.
on. We're all grown ups. Okay. You use a
Yeah.
pseudonym to protect his identity, whatever, but own up to it here.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they never will. I'm just gonna just tell you, they're never gonna own anything. It's just gonna all be just continuous, nonsense, back and forth, excuse. Here's the famous thing that I hear a lot of politicians say: lie, 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 deny, deny, deny. And that's what they do, and that's a shame because, and especially somebody in the military, because kids look up to us, okay? And if they know you're a stinking rotten liar and a rat, what does that make the everybody that wears the uniform should be mad, about that thing. It should be.